The case is gigantic, though. Our entire system teeters on the brink of the decision here. If their decision goes against Trump, which I don't think it's going to,
didn't sound like it.
No, it didn't.
But that precedent could essentially end the republic. That probably sounds hyperbolic, but I really believe it, and I stand by it. The U.S. Constitution is hanging by a thread right now. As a people, as a civilization, we need to wake up to what the left is trying to do to this country. It's incredible.
Yes, it is.
A really simplistic solution to this situation would be to, put Donald Trump on the ballot and let the voters decide.
There's a thought.
That's complicated.
I know.
There's a thought.
I know. If the people of Colorado and Maine and wherever else believe Donald Trump's an insurrectionist, they cannot vote for him.
Right.
Right? Why is that an issue? The Trump attorneys seem to be granting the premise that Trump participated in an insurrection.
Kind of weird.
It's bizarre.
I don't understand that.
Why are you just granting that premise? Why would you do that? We talked to, it was filling in for Stu this week, and we'll be on Mondays today. And, well, actually, I'm filling in for Glenn today. He's got some family emergencies going on, as he's talked about. But we talked to Alan Dershowitz on the show yesterday. Did you hear the interview with Dershowitz?
A little bit of it, yeah.
He thought Trump's lawyers were terrible.
Yeah.
And they were.
I believe
they're arguing the wrong thing.
I believe our host, Mark Levin, has teetered on the brink of calling them terrible himself.
Well, everybody should, because they are terrible.
In spite of that, like you said, the Supreme Court really telegraphed it.
They did. I think they did.
Even Kagan. I mean, we have great clips.
Yes!
We have great clips here that,
Yeah, we need to get to them. Yeah. But you're right. Ketanji Brown Jackson, Elena Kagan, the only one who sounded, I don't know, somewhat sympathetic or neutral even, was maybe Sotomayor. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Even she was skeptical, I think, of the case that was being made before him. So Justice Kavanaugh and Colorado attorney Jason Murray.
Oh, no.
Clip. Here you go.
He had the opportunity to call witnesses remotely. He didn't use all of his time at trial. There was ample process here, and this is how ballot access determinations in election cases are decided all the time.
Okay. Second question. Some of the rhetoric of your position, I don't think it is your position, but some of the rhetoric of your position seems to suggest unless the states can do this, no one can prevent insurrectionists from holding federal office. But obviously Congress has enacted statutes, including one still in effect, Section 2383 of Title 18 prohibits insurrection. It's a federal criminal statute. And if you're convicted of that, you are, it says, shall be disqualified from holding any office.
He's not charged.
And so there is a federal statute on the books, but President Trump has not been charged with that. What are we to make of that?
Yes, thank you. There you go.
I mean, that sums it up. We're
Ta-da!
done. I think we're done here.
I think it was the only time that was even mentioned, by the way. The rest of the time, everybody's just assumed, okay, yeah, he's an insurrectionist. What? How is this possible?
That's what I was thinking the whole time I'm watching that. I'm thinking, like, who is it that is saying this? Because it's nothing legal that's saying this.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're done here. Why are we even in front of the Supreme Court?
He hasn't been charged, hasn't gone to trial, and certainly hasn't been convicted. So how are we even hearing this case?
Yeah.
He's not an insurrectionist. I'm surprised he's not more pissed off about this.
I know.
Because you should be, I don't know, screaming from the rooftops. I didn't participate in an insurrection. In fact, there hasn't been an insurrection.
Thank you.
Jeez. And yet we're just proceeding as if, all right, that's a foregone conclusion. He's an insurrectionist, but can he be on the ballot? Do states have the right to remove a federal candidate from the ballot? It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Justice Elena Kagan actually made a good point.
Why should a single state have the ability to make this determination, not only for their own citizens, but for the rest of the nation?
Thank you.
Because Article 2 gives them the power to appoint their own electors as they see fit. But if they're going to use a federal constitutional qualification as a ballot access determinant, then it's creating a federal constitutional question that then this court decides, and other courts, other states, if this court affirms the decision below, determining that President Trump is ineligible to be president, other states would still have to determine what effect that would have on their own state's law.
What's your read of the question and the answer?
Jonathan Turley here.
Well, I think that the advocates for disqualification probably expected a cold reception, but this was perfectly glacial.
Yeah.
The problem for
sure.
Jason Murray is that his toughest questions came from the left of the court. Many people have been saying how the conservatives are going to sandbag this entire appeal and how they have to look deeply within themselves. Many of the toughest questions were coming from Justice Jackson and Justice Kagan. And Justice Jackson notably kept on raising this first question, which is perhaps the presidency is just not covered by this provision. And she has always taken a particular interest in the 14th Amendment and had said, you know, it's plausible that he was not. And some of the other justices raised the fact that the 14th Amendment was designed to take power away from the states. And yet, as Chief Justice Roberts said, you are curiously finding that there's a provision here that radically expands that power.
I love it.
Wow. Jeez.
I mean, there are some thoughts that this thing could go 9-0.
Yeah, I think so. It should go 9-0.
It should go 9-0.
At least 8-1. At least 8-1 in favor of Trump.
Who's the one?
I think it would be Sotomayor if there is one.